Hi, hello everyone. Welcome to the Masterclass channel. Today, in this class, we will learn to discuss about linear time invariant system. So, what is linear time invariant system? It means what is LTI system? And LTI system which can having both the characteristics of linear as well as time invariance. So here, when the system is said to be linear, that is the first question it will comes into our minds while studying this topic. So when the system is said to be linear, so an LT system which obey the superposition principle. If it satisfies the superposition principle, we call it as linear system. So what is superposition principle? Superposition principle, it says that the output of the system is the weighted sum of inputs is equal to corresponding weighted sum of output to the each of the individual input. Simply you can say weighted sum of input is equal to corresponding weighted sum of output for each individual input signals. Okay, this is what we call it as superposition principle. If any system it obey the superposition, we call it as linearity. And one more term we have here, that is time invariance. If the input and output relation of the system does not vary with time, this system is called as time invariant system. That is, if the input and output relationship or characteristics does not change with respect to time. If you are applying delay for your input signal, okay, but it doesn't affect your output signal. Okay, so that is what we call it as the input or output relation does not varies with the time is called it as time invariant system. Okay, next we move to the next slide. So here linear time invariant system, see a system which possesses two properties. Yeah, as I said now, it possesses two property. It means the system which can have obey the characteristics of two property, that is linearity and time invariance property. Okay, a linear is a continuous system which obey the following properties. For any two input signal, let us take two input signal x1 and x2 of t. This is for two input continuous time signals. And we take real constant, any real constant, a or b, like that. Now the system it responds, look at this expression, transformation of a into x1 of t plus b into x2 of t, that is weighted sum of input signals. Okay, now our input signal x of t can be decimated into two, x1 and x2. Now you are going to add these two signals with the corresponding weight. Okay, so a x1 of t plus b x2 of t, which is equal to, now this is a real constant, no? So you take down outside. So a will come outside. So a into transformation of x1 of t. Likewise, plus b into transformation of x2 of t. So here you write down b, not a. Okay, this is what we call it as superposition principle. Now, time invariant. So time invariant means if any system, okay, which obey the following time shift invariance property. See, if that, suppose if you take input signal x of t, okay, output signal is y of t, which is equal to transformation of x of t. Then for real constant is here t. Okay, the first step is you are going to give the delay for the input signal. So now t can be replaced by t minus t, y of t minus t, which is equal to transformation of x of t minus t. It means if you are applying delay for input signal, okay, but doesn't affect your input signals. So if it is equal, both are equal means time invariant. If it is not equal, we call it as time variant. Okay. So next we move on to next slide. So types of LTA system. Okay, there are two different types of LTA system. One is continuous time LTA system and another one is discrete time LTA system. So here LTA system mainly which are characterized by impulse response in both continuous time as well as discrete time. So here this impulse response it plays a major role in both time, that is the continuous time as well as discrete time. Okay, both LTA systems are represented as linear combination of delayed impulse. So delayed impulse signals. So it is represented as the combination of delayed input samples. One actual, so any sequence it consists of one actual and another one is delayed impulse response. Okay, see, this is the continuous time LTA system. So before entering into this topic, we must know what is system, because so far we have discussed only about the signal, so not about the system in this lecture series, isn't it? So I am telling you a few intro about the system. So what is system? System, it means a function of blocks which are all connected together to produce the output. Those output in response to your given input of the signals. That is what system. Okay, for example, if you take the PC. Okay, so desktop system. So you have the monitor, then keyboard, mouse, then CPU, then if you want to connect it Bluetooth dongle, means you have to connect the extra device, that is peripheral device, Bluetooth dongle, Wi-Fi module, then webcam. So these are all the subsystems. When we connect all the system, okay, now it became one complete system. So what does it do? It means when all the blocks are functionally connected together to produce the output. Okay, but our output is respond to your given input of the signals. Okay, so this is what system, right? So here listen, a system which both input and output are continuous time signals. It possesses two properties. One is linearity as well as time invariance. Is referred to as continuous time LTA system. So now these systems are characterized by their corresponding impulse response. As I said earlier, in both the system, impulse response will be paid there. Okay, if it is continuous, you put h of t. If it is discrete, you put h of n. This is the difference. Okay, but impulse response is the main characteristics of your to describe your LTA system. Okay, or by their transfer function h of s. Okay, so this is your system h of t transfer function. Input signal is x of t is applied to the system and it produces the output is y of t. Now, what is transfer function? So transfer function is nothing but the ratio of output of the system to input of the system. It means h of t which is equal to y of t divided by x of t. Okay, for continuous time, which transform can be applied here? Laplace transform. Laplace transform is only transform we applied for to compute the continuous time system. Okay, so when you apply the Laplace transform, h of t become h of s, y of t become y of s, x of t become x of s. So now we get h of s which is equal to y of s divided by x of s. Understood? Okay, for continuous time means here in which transform is applicable for continuous time means LTA's Laplace transform. For discrete time, you apply Z transform. Okay, so next slide. See, continuous time signals x of t is represented in terms of del of t. Okay, in terms of del of t. Now this is your actual input sequence x of t, continuous time signal. So which is equal to, so integral of x of tau input signals multiplied with delayed impulse response. That is delayed impulse response is del of t minus tau. So here all the terms with respect to tau, so I put here d tau. Okay, this is taken as equation number 1. of tau varies between minus infinite to plus infinite. Okay, now this continuous time impulse response h of t is the output of the continuous time system when applied input signal x of t is equal to impulse response function del of t. Okay, so what is del of t? Del of t is impulse response. Okay, it will define only at t equal to 0. Okay, it will not define at other than 0. So the signal only takes place at when t equal to 0. That is what impulse signals. Okay, now to compute the continuous time LTS system. Okay, the output of the system is y of t. Y of t, how will you get the y of t? Y of t which is equal to transformation of x of t, because x of t is input applied to your system. Okay, our system, it can process your input signal. So for that I put here t of x of t, that is transformation of x of t. Now this x of t will get operated. It means it will get processed by the system, and it produces the, after processing is completed, it produces the output, that is y of t. Okay, now write down this transformation of x of t can be written as, already we typed down x of t equation. This is equation. So now you substitute this equation there. Okay, x of tau into del of t minus tau d tau. Okay, now take down the integral outside. Integral t minus tau, which is equal to minus infinite to plus infinite, x of tau. You keep it as outside of this term. So inside you allow the transform allowed into impulse response, because this transformation is only taken for your impulse sequence. Isn't it? So that's why I can, as I said earlier, impulse response is played a vital role here. So the here delayed impulse response. So del of t minus tau into d tau. So what about del of t minus tau into d tau? Is nothing but impulse response. No. So that is h of t minus tau. So transformation of del of t minus tau is nothing but impulse response. So h of t minus tau into d tau. So now this equation is called as convolutional integral equation. So convolution integral equation is y of t, which is equal to integral minus infinite tau, which is equal to minus infinite to plus infinite, x of tau, h of t minus tau into d tau. So one actual sequence, one delayed impulse response sequence. Okay, this is what we call it as convolution integral term. So next slide we move on to talk about convolution integral term. What is convolution integral? So convolution integral is given as y of t equal to, already we find out this equation, that is x of tau, h of t minus tau into d tau. So now this equation can be represented as x of t star h of t. Okay, x of t star h of t. So here this star symbol, it denotes convolution operation. Okay, if it is linear convolution means you put dot. If it is circular convolution, you put circle along with the dot. Okay, so here star denotes convolution operation, both in between the input signals and the impulse response h of t. Okay, so convolution integral is also referred to as superposition integral. Okay, because how you obtain this equation be based upon the superposition theorem only, superposition integral term only. Okay, so now it is used to compute the response of continuous time LTS system with the impulse response h of t for any arbitrary signal, that is for any input signal x of t. Okay, so convolution integral, which is used for to compute continuous time LTS system. Okay, next we move on to discrete time LTS system. So far we have discussed about continuous time LTS system. So continuous time LTS system, which is used to compute the convolution integral, is used to compute the continuous time LTS system with with impulse response h of t and any arbitrary input signal x of t. Okay, now we want to discrete time LTS system. Same thing only, but slight modification. Okay, so here the representation will be changed and applying a transform is also changed. Okay, look at this definition. The system of which both input and output are discrete time signals, and it possesses two properties. Okay, so here their input and output are which possess continuous time, but now it possesses discrete time. Okay, and also there it can obey the two properties. Here also it obeys the two properties. Okay, in continuous time it obeys the both linear time as well as time invariance. Here also which possesses linear as well as time invariance. Okay, So if it obeys this two property, we call it as discrete time LTI system. Okay. Now these systems are characterized by here also impulse response h of n, or the corresponding transfer function is h of z. But in continuous time is h of yes, but here h of z. Okay, so x of n is applied as a input to your h of n impulse response of the system. Now it processes your input signal and it produces output signal y of n. So now this y of n, which is equal to x of n star h of n. Okay, suppose if you apply the delayed input signal x of n multiplied with h of n minus tau. Right? See the integral term. See, look at the expression. This is your discrete time input signal x of n is represented in terms of del of n. So in terms of del of n is impulse response. Now it become x of t, which is equal to tau integral minus infinity to infinite x of tau del of t minus tau into d tau. So this is for continuous time representation of in terms of del of n, isn't it? Now the output of the discrete time LTI system, it means in terms of discrete. So discrete means what are the changes we faced here is x of t become x of n. Okay, so here it represented in terms of parenthesis. Okay, but here it represented square bracket. So n is a integer. Okay, one more difference is there you using integral term for continuous time, but discrete time use the summation. Okay, these are the changes, carefully noted out. Okay, don't make any mistake here. Right. Then one more term is there using tau, but here using the x of k for discrete time. Okay, these are the slight difference. In CT you using the applying the Laplace transform, but here you apply the Z transform. Right. These are the similarities. That is the difference between CT LTI system and DT LTI system. Okay. Now the output of discrete time system, look at here, y of n, which is equal to transformation of x of n. How you get this equation? X of n is input, applying to your system h of n, which it produces output is y of n. So now you can written as y of n equal to transformation of x of n. Okay. Now transformation, which is equal to x of n, is nothing but what? In terms of summation, you have to write it down in terms of summation. Okay. Now summation, inside the summation you put x of k, that is frequency of that, but with the impulse response, that is del of n minus k, delayed impulse response. Okay, so here the k varies between minus infinity to plus infinity. So this is the difference equation, both the CT and dt. Okay, now y of n, which is equal to, okay, now take down this summation x of k, you bring out outside of the transformation. Okay, so summation k equal to minus infinity to infinite x of k, I bring out outside. Now you can allow the transformation to your impulse response. So now transformation of del of n minus k. Right. Inside the summation, what do we get now? X of k as it is, you keep it down as it is, x of k. Del of n minus k, that is the transformation of del of n minus k is nothing but hk of k. Hk of n is nothing but impulse response of LTI system. Okay, so hk of n. So now what do we get? X of k, hk of n is nothing but h of n minus k. So one actual sequence, one delayed impulse sequence. Okay, this is the convolution integral, right? Look at this equation. Note that x of n, which is equal to summation x of k del of n minus k. Now this summation only converted into, look at this expression, y of n equal to x of k h of n minus k. See, note that for input signals you have to write down input signal x of n, which is equal to x of n, it consists of our frequency multiplied with the impulse, input frequency is multiplied with the impulse response del of n minus k. But in terms of output, that is y of k, it become del become h. Okay, how it will converted del into h means, look at this expansion. A linear time invariant system can be completely characterized by its impulse response h of n. Okay, so now the del of n is impulse response given as an input to your system, that is h of t. or H of S, it producing corresponding impulse response, that is H of N. Okay, so this is how our del of n minus k is transformed to H of n minus k. So after taking the transformation operation here, it become H of n minus k. Okay, so transformation or transfer function is nothing but the ratio of output to input of the system. Okay, how you understood? Next, convolution sum. Okay, so convolution sum. So listen, you know that formula, convolution formula, y of n equal to previous formula, x of k into h of n minus k. This is the convolution sum for discrete time LTI system. Okay, convolution sum for discrete time LTI system. Now you take down that equation. So next, it can be represented, or you may written like this also, x of n star h of n. Both are same only. You may written like this. This star, it represents this term, convolution operation term. Okay, between x of n and the impulse response h of n. So convolution sum is also referred to as superposition sum. Convolution sum is also referred to as superposition sum. We know that, so what is superposition? Okay, so this is also used to compute the response of the discrete time LTI system. Okay, so with respect to what? Input signal x of n and impulse response h of n. Okay, so this is what convolution sum. So next we move on to properties of LTI system. Okay, so what are the properties in which the system having? So here there are different types of properties. Write down: commutative property, distributive property, associative property, LTI system with memory and without memory, invertibility of LTI system, causality of LTI system, and stability for LTI system, unit step response for an LTI system. So with this, I concluded my today's topic. So next video, I will post it, briefly discuss about these properties of LTI system. Okay. So thank you for watching this video. So if you like this video, you just share to your friends and subscribe this channel. Thank you. Thank you so much.